Hey guys, welcome to this week's show. We know it's a little late in the week. It's Thursday, but guess what? Corey and I have fucking lives outside of this shit. So, but thanks, Corey, for joining me here. Appreciate your time.
No, thanks for having me. Yeah, busy week, but it's always make room for some hockey talk. So
That's it. It's a little quieter now that trades are already done, right? So the league's not as mouthy yet. Um, I would like to see us bring our trash talking up a little bit. It's been kind of weak so far the last few weeks. Kind of want to stir the pot a bit, I guess. So
no terrible trade offers being sent out.
that's it. No one's calling anyone out on their terrible GMing. We were going to talk about the prediction results, but we had technical difficulty with the file, and we'll have it up to date. It was probably 95% up to date, and
yeah, it was almost like
we didn't want to push this another night, so we're just gonna do it without it. To give you a heads up, it looks like percentage wise, near the top is Neil, Dan, and myself. No, and Sean, sorry.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
me. I'm up there.
No, you, Sean, and
win.
Neil have the most wins.
Yeah,
but then Daltrey and Dan have good winning percentages, though. They just
does Daltrey count? Does Daltrey count?
It's been so long. I would say no.
I think it's been over 2 months since he sent in any predictions. So, Daltrey, if you're watching this, which who knows if you are, but if you are, step up your game here and send in some predictions. I thought you were defending prediction champion, and you don't take pride in that.
Big Daltrey needs to get on him.
Big Daltrey, show him how to win
in for.
So light show again this week, guys. But that happens when there's no trades to talk about. So we got 8 matchups to talk about from last week. Let's do that, I guess. Let's start with this one. I've heard. I'm going to quote Travis that he wanted this more than when he was 15, trying to lose his virginity. He really wanted to defeat Team Ramrod. Because to be the man, you have to beat the man. Woo! But Team Ramrod defeating the never-ending rebuild here, 9-4. Why don't you tell me about this, Corey?
If there's a week that you lose, I'd say it's this one. Your team was not great, but it got the job done.
My goaltending was shit.
Yeah, but Travis's was worse, so you got the win. Good win.
Did you see how close those goalie stats were?
I know. I've been looking at. I had pulled them up. Yeah, they're tight.
You know what got me the win? I was gonna bench Anderson on Sunday, but then he got injured in warm up or something. He didn't play. So I'm lucky that I picked up Martin Jones on Saturday. Philly managed to have a win out of their backup goalie here. Like Philly, a terrible team, and my week was won with that pickup pretty much.
That's huge.
Yeah, I'm like, well, if there's ever time to pick up a Philly goalie, it's when they're playing Chicago. Like,
so you're the one who squeezed out the 2 extra saves on him.
I squeezed it out on him.
Yeah, nice. Wow.
Another thing that really aggravates, so I bring it up a lot. Kemper on Saturday, I think it was. He's in the game. He lets in 3 goals, and they pulled him. So they pulled him, and Frank Hughes got the overtime win, maybe. But he let in 2 goals.
They lost.
I think
they lost.
So but yeah, he did. Yeah, he didn't let the 4th goal in because Frank Hughes was in. But yeah, he was having a rough night. He let 2 late in the first and 1 right at the start of the second. They said that's enough. It was enough to get me the save percentage, goals against average, and
that's terrible.
You knew it was going to be rough going against Calgary, right? So
yeah, you were bad, just not bad enough to lose.
I just want him to feel like he was in it. But next matchup, it was a big matchup. This was a big matchup. I was really invested in this matchup. I was looking at it. It looked like Kyle was going to maybe come out with a win. And he ended up losing to the playoff push. Keeping his hopes alive here against Clefbaum, 7-6. Why don't you tell me about this?
Yeah, it's a huge win. It's a more important loss for me though in the trophy race. So good on you, Derek.
Some would argue the trophy that matters, right? A small handful of people would. No,
15 winners in that trophy race.
I don't understand what happened though. I just saw Kyle in the chat saying that he lost because of Eichel's goal. Like, it didn't make sense to me because Eichel is his player.
Yeah, but he must have scored against the goalie. Were they playing Calgary that game?
No,
they must have.
No,
Arizona.
Who they play?
Vegas.
It didn't have his goalie. I think if anything, it was Derek's goalie, because Derek has Leonard. It was Vegas. It was Vegas got the win. Leonard got the win. I don't remember who they scored against, but it didn't make sense, and I couldn't figure out what happened.
Yeah, I think it was Ottawa. That must have been that.
You know, I don't often swear when my guy gets a GWG, but that's costing the week somehow. Another, I mean, Sean's been struggling a bit lately, forcing a late tie here against Cherry Pickin' Daddy, 7-7. This is a non-playoff team, Cherry Pickin' Daddy, and Sean should have walked all over him, but Sean can't beat Kyle. We got. What's your perception on this one here? What's your perspective?
Yeah, and I think it just shows where Sean's weakness is right now, because he lost all 5 goalie stats.
Oh yeah.
So, and to tie 7-7. So his players did well, and they had a good week. 4 GWGs, and just the goalies needed 1 out of them, couldn't get 1.
I think that's why he's got his little JC Petit. The little goalie can't cover the net.
What are you letting beach balls?
We got Daltrey, sometimes present, defeating the always present Saucier Pass, 9-3, making sure that you stay at that bottom here. He wanted to see you with that golden dick. What do you tell me? What happened here?
Yeah, this is my players did all right, but his goalies took all 5 on me, so I just needed 1 of them. Couldn't get anything, so rough week, but that's why I'm not in the playoffs.
Daltrey is right.
Good win, Daltrey. Good win.
You know, if you look at it just based on standings, Daltrey should have won this, right? So.
Yep, definitely.
This one, I was expecting a miracle here. Like, it looked like a miracle was happening for most of the week, and last day, Sunday, kind of flipped the script here. Captain Crunch barely holding on against Hockey Balboa, 8-6 victory. Won't you tell me what happened here?
Yeah, his goalies, like he did not have a good week. This is the Braden bye week to a T, because I don't know who Captain Crunch would have beat otherwise. Like, yeah, he had a rough week, but it's good for him. Keep the wins going.
Yeah, good for you. Another person at the bottom losing.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
This matchup, not so good for you. Tyler separating himself a little bit from the pack here at the bottom. Pulling out a win against a playoff team. Get off my grass here, 8-4. Ooh, what happened here?
Yeah, he had a good week. I mean, we know Dan's slowing down. He's sold a lot of his big names, so it's not too surprising, but just I guess just going on the guy who's going to be active isn't going to always get you the win in this.
Pacioretty, tough loss to Neil. Big loss. Big win for Neil. Big loss for Patches. You know, he's trying to hold on to that last playoff spot. He needs all the points he can get. He took a beating, 11-3. What do you think of this matchup?
Yeah, his goalies didn't do a whole lot. They got a lot of starts, but didn't do well. He had a good player week. The Neil's team came out to play, showing their playoff ready.
Playoff ready.
I'd say so. Yeah, he had a good week.
Neil messaged me, you know, saying like, I'm excited because this week we're playing each other, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'll be lucky if I survive. I have a little man game advantage, but I had a full roster last week at the start of the week. At the end of the week, I had 4 injuries.
Oh, geez.
including Reimer and Anderson. Whew, so it was going to be rough. I'm up to 5 injuries now because we added Doughty to that list today. It was real nice. But my team's depleted, but it's just bad timing for a big matchup like this, right? And I was looking forward to having a really good matchup, my prime versus Neil's prime. I might have to wait to playoffs, buddy. I'm sorry. Whole shaft defeating 7 on the ice. So that was good news for Patch, and good news for whole shaft, right? So, why don't you tell me about this one?
Yeah, Nick's players coming out to play, taking 9 of the 10 player categories, losing all the goalie stats, except for tied for wins. His goalies didn't have a great week. It wasn't the worst, but his players won it for him. So if his goalie, and we know he has good goalies, so it's odd that he has an off week, right? With Vaz, Vaz had a bad week, so but his team still could win with him. So it's good showing for him. Big
loss for 7 here for Mark. That's his chance to make up some ground. It wasn't an easy task. I'm not saying that, right? But this was his chance to Patches lost. So hopefully for his sake, he gets another chance. But to touch base on what you're saying about the players, right? A lot of the big teams, when their goalies are having an off week, all of a sudden their players start performing, right? We're just saying that my goalies were shit last week. Dobos were shit last week, right? The top teams, I just find either the players are on or the goalies are on. It's never perfect, and both are going all at once.
Yeah, it's been a pretty high scoring season. It's been fun for fantasy hockey. It's been one of the lowest goalie stat years in a long time. I think 10 years. So it's under 9.1. I think 9.1 or 1 average, maybe even lower.
That's what they want, though. They want more goals, right? They want to be exciting. So
yep, and I think
everyone's excited with the goalie.
Yeah.
I need to keep my job. Come on. Some standing updates here. So why don't you tell me about Division 1 here?
Division 1, showing the slide of Dan, sitting down a big gap between second and third. You got Captain Crunch, 28 points. Neil with 26. Big drop down to get off my grass at 21. Patch Ready to Rumble at 20. They got a healthy cushion over Kyle, 3-point lead. He's in 11th though. Tyler got a win to separate himself from the bottom of the pack to 13th with 13 points, and Clefbaum and Halkby Balbo with losses stay at 11 and 10 points respectively.
Interesting is that Kyle's not out.
No,
he could still sneak in. He gets the right matchups. He could be competing for a playoff spot out of nowhere, right?
Get
interesting as
wins.
well. Sorry?
No, go ahead.
I was interesting as well as Domo has clinched.
Oh, yeah.
So it looks like 28 points is the magic number to guarantee yourself in.
Yep.
So that's good news for a couple teams like Neil, who's only 2 points behind, and myself, right? So this week, either Neil or myself is clinching.
What if you get the ties?
I would still clinch.
Yeah.
Because we had 28, right? So
yeah, you can even clinch on a loss here.
Yeah, depending on what happens, right?
Yeah.
So Division 2 here. Let's talk about that. Le Champion leading the way. Don't forget, guys, Team Ramrod Championship Tour still going on. Looking for that repeat, but he's sitting at the top of Division 2 here with 27 points, second in the league. We got the whole shaft here right behind, 24 points. Having a pretty good year, quietly good. He's been really quiet for a while there, and just piling on his wins. JC Petit, who picked up a point. I mean, he's only 3 points out of the danger zone here. So I think Sean's team needs to pick it up a little bit here to kind of, his team's been hurting a lot lately. They just haven't been performing. He could be in danger. Daltrey's in here at 6th, point behind Sean here at 22 points, 2 points up on 8. 7 still sitting on the outside here, 1 point out. Again, 4 big weeks here, so a lot of points up for grabs. Playoff push, still continuing with the playoff push. 3 points out, not impossible. So yeah, he's been pretty active lately. So maybe he sneaks in. I like his Cinderella story. I would love Derek to sneak in so I can play him first round and beat him. Never ending rebuild. I mean, the hope, like the chances are still there, but I don't think he's gonna make it.
The difference is, the difference there is like he's only 1 point back of Derek, but he really sold where Derek actually did buy. So
Derek still has his team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do agree with that, saying that I think he's done.
I'm not basing it on points. I'm basing it on what's left on his roster.
Yeah.
Sauce Pass here, tied to a Hockey Balboa at the bottom, but they gave him the bottom seed. Like I said before, he wants to be the first name on each of our trophies. So it's a sense of pride for him.
Yeah.
So tight playoff race, though. Tight playoff race. I'm loving this. Think about it now, like right now, like you guys, even you at the bottom, you're 10 points back, which isn't, it's enough points, but if you look at it over the season as a whole, in 23 weeks, you're only like 5 wins out, right?
Yep.
So
true.
It's a good, a great season. I feel like the league's just going to keep getting tighter and tighter. I just like to see everyone active all the time, right? So,
No, I agree. A couple things there. Like it's nice to see Nick separating a bit. Even those 3 have been kind of fluctuating all season. But Sean, I think he goes like 2 and 2, even 1 and 3. He could even 10 the season here. He could even do well.
He's in good shape.
Yeah.
It just, his team has been a little slumpy lately, and I'd hate to see Sean miss the playoffs because his goaltending, because that's unlike him. But I wouldn't mind seeing Sean miss the playoffs. Death of the king of the regular season
coming from his mouth then.
What's that?
A lot less trash talk coming out of his mouth then.
He doesn't really talk too much trash. Only against certain people he will, right? So
only if he's drinking a little much on chill nights. Then he gets a little mouthier. It's okay though. We respect it.
2 weeks from now, me and him go head to head. I want to put him down. I don't have a good track record against him in the regular season though, so
that's all right.
All right, we got some big matchups this week. First one we'll talk about here. Mind you, like don't look at the scores. You could, but don't let that cloud your judgment.
I didn't go into deep analysis yet. So,
big matchup here. Le Champion Team Ramrod taking on Suck My Ojit. What do you got here? Who you got here?
I mean, you gave me a little inside scoop on the injury status of your roster, and Neil just came off a huge week. I'm gonna give it to Neil. He's gonna get the win and clinch the playoffs.
I'm gonna disagree with you because my team has been playing hard this week so far, despite the injuries, right? So Kemper had a great night tonight. He got the loss 2-0. We only let 1 goal in on like 30-some shots. It's not really his fault against Carolina. I was hoping Anderson would have been back tonight because I would have had both goalies, but no, Ranta with a big shutout, so that's great for Daltrey.
Yeah, that is huge.
But my boys have been buzzing this week, so as long as I can put up some decent goalie numbers, I should be able to compete. I think I'm going to pull it out, but I could easily see this ending in a tie. Yeah.
Is that your prediction?
No, I think I'm going to win.
Okay.
I'm going to win, but I could easily see it being a tie.
Yeah.
Daltrey currently sitting in 6th place, taking on the 10th place Derek playoff push here. Big matchup for Derek, right? He's 5 points behind Daltrey, so he can close that gap a bit. Who do you got here?
Well, I got to see Daltrey's team last week. I know Derek went pretty heavy into the deadline, but I'm going to give my vote to Daltrey. It's an important win for him.
Yeah, it's a big win for him if he can get it right. So I just don't know. I don't know how attentive Daltrey is right now. So it's hard for me to say, yeah, Daltrey's just gonna kill it. I'm gonna say Derek seeks out a win. Keeps the playoff push alive.
Yeah, I'm okay with seeing that. I just
yeah,
just
you
one
just
night
feel like
Daltrey just
Daltrey
has to set his lineup for the week and he's good. And so
it's a big ask.
I didn't say it wasn't.
Another big matchup. Guy who's in 11th, but again, 3 points out. Taking on the whole shaft here. So cherry picking daddy versus the whole shaft. Who you got?
It's Kyle stuck out a big win last week, or no, tie, right?
Ty,
So, yeah. So he's showing he can compete, but it was against Sean. So I know it's 8-5 for him now, but I'm gonna give my vote to Nick this week.
Yeah, I just think Nick's team's better. I'm in agreement. Yeah, he's losing right now, but I think by end of the week, when all is said and done, Nick will have the win.
Yeah,
this is a good matchup right here. I like this matchup. Captain Crunch here, top of the league, taking on Dan, who's on a slide, currently sitting in 7th. Who you got?
I think the slide's going to continue. I'm going to give this one to Captain Crunch.
I'm going to agree with you. He made a move that I thought was very interesting. Picking up Nick Schmaltz. It's been a little tear.
Yeah, he's been building up the back end stats, right?
Well, he's no, he had 7 points the other day in the one game, and then 4 in the next game.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the forward. Yeah, sorry. I was thinking someone else.
You know, that goes to show, like, right? That's been his play all year. This guy's on a hot streak, gonna ride that hot streak.
Might as well. Because I think they were scoring a lot tonight, weren't they?
They put 4 up tonight, last I saw.
Yeah.
I think Toronto came back. They were down 4-1 or something. Last I saw it was 4-4. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Toronto's been scoring too, though.
Yeah, but it's just nice to see Arizona scoring goals because they're not a team that scores goals. But I think Captain Crunch will take it this week, and it'll make the playoff race more interesting. Seeing Dan kind of stalled a bit, other teams might have the chance to jump. Speaking of teams that might be able to jump here, Pacioretty enjoying his Braden bye week. Who we got here?
You know, the Braden bye weeks been putting up a lot of close weeks though. They haven't been so easy lately. Nick's team hasn't been getting the wins lately. I could see an upset. I want to see Patch win this one. So I'm going to give it to Patch. He needs to come back this week with a big one.
I'm going to say Patch and as well. Big factor is that Campbell's out for the next couple of weeks. Without Campbell, I don't know how stable Hockey Balboa's goaltending is. So I just think Patch has the better roster and he'll pull it out when all is said and done. So big matchup here again. Keep it a guy trying to keep pace. 7 on the ice here, taking on the never-ending rebuild. Who you got here?
Yeah, and I got to go with Mark. You know, Travis selling off. Mark sold a little bit, bought a little bit. Interesting moves, but I think he has the better team. He needs to get a win here, just the easy win, so he can afford a loss later.
I'm going to agree with you. I just think it's awesome that Travis is getting crushed right now by the Florida boys that he traded to that team last year. I was talking to him the other day, and he was talking about how he's like, I should never traded the Florida boys and Gibson last year to Relentless. I should have held on to them with all my 6s that I had. I could have still had a really good draft. Yeah, you would have been in a lot better spot. Florida boys, right? That's probably the best roster we've ever seen taken over by someone. Dan's is good too, but you were gifted those Florida boys And they do nothing but score. And Gibson.
And Bobrovsky, who was underperforming last year, actually came out to play. That was huge too.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I think that was a gift for Mark. He's putting his own little touch on it, right? And he's competing for a playoff spot. So it's nice to see both guys who are new to the league are actually competing for playoff spots, where we have franchises I don't even know if ever made the playoffs. Speaking of which, Clef Bob here is defeating Please Don't Feed the Goalie so far, 8-4. A lot of week left. Who do you got in this one?
I gotta hope Tyler wins this one. To separate from the pack a bit, but I think Kyle's gonna come out the win though, unfortunately.
I was thinking the same thing. I think Kyle's gonna win. He's just a more active GM, right? So the odds are in his favor based on that, and I think he's gonna win. Just separate himself from you a little bit.
I gotta.
You have a worse season than the Braden bye week.
That's a rough season, man.
Yeah.
Not even on the year that it's like the year of the first draft lottery. You finish dead last. You get a trophy of a golden dick, and you get the first overall pick.
Watch, you'll get the 8th pick.
You know what? Most of my picks aren't even mine. So does it really matter to me? Like, there's so much pick. Like,
do you have a lot of 6th rounds?
I don't have any.
You don't have any, so it doesn't even matter.
No. Yeah, I have a bunch of 7, 8s.
There's gonna be a couple teams who will have a good draft, but you don't need the draft to win. Trust me.
No, I'm happy with some players I picked up though, so I'm much happier with my keepers this year.
I think that's what a lot of teams should focus on. The draft is such a crapshoot. Look at Travis, right? If I was selling, like, let's say my team was in a different state, I'd be looking at improving my keepers, right? And I think that's where the value of my picks would come from, not what I'm going to find in the draft in the 6th round. What can I move that 6-4 now that'll help improve my keeper base? You're not going to do much without a base. You're going to have a great draft next year of all these like top end mediocre guys, right? Who are usually the ones that get thrown back in. There's some top end players that get thrown back in, but let's be real, the cream of the cream there, the cream of the top crop is staying with all these other teams.
And I find the ones that actually turn into like keeper replacements because they have such a good year are not the ones that are like the 6th. They're like the 8th or 9th round picks that you pick that are like just have a breakout year.
They're sleepers,
just bring
right?
themselves that much ahead. So like if you do your homework right,
just focus on making your base, your 5 keepers better, right? And to me, that's the solution. And I must say, some teams have taken strides in that area. So it's nice to see, right? Like that's the way to go in my opinion. Not that I'm struggling with my keeper quality, right? It's easy for me to say, but that was always my goal, was to go in with the better keepers every year when I was rebuilding. Well, the year I rebuilt, I traded Quick to you for Chuck. We haven't heard the end of it.
Oh, I know. But I wasn't keeping them anyway, so it's one of those before you don't know how big they're going to be, right?
You needed a goalie for a playoff run.
Yep.
You had a young forward that I like. Like, hey, let's do this. But you just never know. I was focused on improving my keepers, and that's just what I did, right? So I think a lot of teams are kind of doing that now this year, right? They're improving their keeper base and go into next year and worry about the draft the year after.
Yeah, exactly. So like I have a killer draft now. I'm happier with my keeper selection, and then I can, if I go in and sell off my picks to just improve myself even more, right? So
you'll be a lot more dangerous next year than you've been in a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of you, though, last matchup to talk about. You are taking on Sean this week. Right now, you're currently winning. It would be huge if you could pull off this win. Continue Sean's slide. Who you got here?
Yeah, I was winning by a lot more last night. but Hart just got lit up tonight. So the
They
goalie
came back
stats.
though. Philly came back.
Yeah, but
I don't think they
so many
won.
goals.
But yeah,
Yeah, but he had a huge night earlier in the week. So you know what? I'm gonna go for myself this week. I think there's a chance.
you know, I would love to see you win. More so because I just love trolling Sean. Like, and again, I don't want to see him miss the playoffs, but I kind of do. Like,
At
king
least
of the
make it a
regular
little
season,
interesting.
you know, sliding on his way out. We last 3 weeks could be really interesting if that's the case, right? If he continues his slide here, I honestly think he's pretty safe, but he has a tough schedule, I believe, at the end. So if he just can't get it together, he could find himself barely holding on.
Yeah, this is a must win for him.
You can find a first round date with Domo.
Oh, that'd be okay.
Some big matchups though this week, right? So,
what's our matchup of the week this week? I feel like the Mark Travis one's kind of big for the playoff hunt race. Even Daltrey and Derek, that's a big one too.
I'm biased.
Yeah, and you and Neil.
Because I think me and Neil is the big matchup because we're two big teams playing each other.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean anything for the playoff race, right?
Yep, exactly. There's a few to focus on, yeah, for sure.
The thing is, I don't think Mark versus Travis is that big of a deal because I think Mark should have it. And same with Patches versus Hockey Balboa. In a way, I almost feel Daltrey and Derek is probably the big one.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, for sure.
Daltrey could kill Derek's playoff hopes.
Yeah, this is a huge win for him, for his chances.
Yeah, because if Mark and Patch each have a easy week on paper right now, you know, barring some kind of miracle, they should get the win. If Daltrey hits Derek hard here this week, then I think he's done.
Yep.
I think the playoff push is over. So I think that to me is the matchup to watch this week. Besides me and Neil, of course.
Because there's 3 weeks left after this, right?
3, yeah.
So
he's already 3 points out of
who's
a spot.
In 9th? Yeah, Mark's at 19. So yeah, there potentially he can get to 27 points. Like, there's a lot of people who aren't safe still. So
yeah, things can happen, right?
Yep.
Derek loses though. I think he's actually pretty much out because he'll need 6 points to even jump into a spot.
Yeah, that would be a huge loss. Yeah.
So if he loses,
standings. Go to the standings.
He's 3 points out right now. But if Patch and 7 win, which they should, that puts it puts at 22. You'll be 5 points out with 3 weeks left.
Yeah, it's pretty. Well, he'd be able to tie. Yeah, he'd be 4 points back from Mark, who could potentially be holding that 8th spot. Yeah.
But he's in 9th, right? So
yeah, but so Patches has to win. That's an important one.
He has his Balboa week there, his Braden bye week. Should be easy for him.
Yeah, I'd say it's a loss for sure. He's out.
Yeah, because I just think there's no way that Patch and 7 lose this week. So you lose and you're out. You're out pretty much. Same can be said about Kyle, but I think Kyle's kind of expecting it.
Yeah,
sold his team, right? So, I hope the playoff race goes down to the wire, and if 7's get in, someone's gonna fall out, and I hope it's someone unexpected. You know, I love a good upset story. So
I'd say if it's someone from Division 2, it'd be a team that would be unexpected to miss.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if anyone from the Division 1 misses, you're not really surprised. Obviously, Neil and Crunchang.
Yeah, you're right. Just the more likely ones to fall out are Dan and Patch.
Yeah, exactly.
But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. You never know, right?
I'm looking forward to a tight playoff race. This is going to be exciting over the next 3 weeks to keep our eye on this.
Oh yeah.
I'm going through a schedule of hell, so I just hope that my players come back healthy in time for playoffs. We might go on that losing streak before the playoffs. We just don't know.
For 4 weeks. 4 weeks left.
We got 4 weeks. After Neil, I have Domo, Sean, Nick.
That's a rough 4 weeks. That's easily a losable 4 weeks.
Yeah, I just
wouldn't
want
be
my boys to
surprised.
get healthy.
Yep.
That's all I care about. Be healthy for within the next 4 weeks, you come back.
Yeah, exactly. That's hilarious. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, guys, thanks for joining me, Corey.
Thanks for having me.
It's another fun show here. We just like to trash talk and talk hockey. Good luck this week, guys. I think it's going to be an exciting week. I know I say that every week, but the closer we get to playoffs, the more exciting we get. So, I'm pumped. I want to win a championship again. I want my name on that trophy again, back to back. Corey also wants his name on a trophy this year. So
it's been a while, I'm starting to feel like the Maple Leafs here. Back in the good old days.
I want to be relevant again, so I'm going to win the bottom trophy.
Yeah.
No, but great time, buddy. Always a pleasure. Good luck, guys. We'll see you out there. Let's start some trash talk going here in the chat. Come on.
Screw you, Paulie. You're going down this week, bud.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I hope he does. I hope he's not making it. Take care, guys.
Yeah. Oh, that was good.